Cubs begin their 5-game division series against the Milwaukee Brewers, so we will take a look at game number 1. We will look over everything that went right and what went wrong. That will be happening on this episode of Cubs 360. Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 53 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So, as you saw, the Chicago Cubs beat the San Diego Padres in the 3-game wildcard series. They move on to the division series to take on their rivals north of I-94 in the Milwaukee Brewers. So let's get right to it. So on the top of the first with Freddie Peralta pitching for the Brewers. On the fourth pitch of the game, Mike Busch hits a home run to right center field to make it 1-0 Chicago right off the bat. Nico Hoerner will ground out to third, Tucker will ground out to first, and Suzuki struck out looking. Matt Boyd will pitch for the Cubs. In the bottom of the first, Chourio hits a double to left, and then Bryce Terang will hit a double to right to score Chourio to tie up at 1. But then Contreras will hit a double to center to score Terang, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee. And then Yelich will ground out to short. Vaughn will get walked. And then Sal Frelick is safe at first on a fielding error by Nico Hoerner, which was a rare error, and that was pretty much the downfall of the game. As Contreras will score, Vaughn will go to second, and it's 3-1 in favor of the Brewers. Durbin struck out swinging, and then Perkins will hit a base to center to score Vaughn, and Frelick will go to third. So it's already 4-1 Milwaukee. So a nightmare inning for Matt Boyd. And then Soroka goes in for the Cubs. Ortiz will get walked, which will send Perkins to second, and then Chourio will hit a base to left to score Frelick and Perkins. Ortiz will go to second, so it is 6-1 Milwaukee, and then finally Terang struck out swinging. So the Brewers got through their entire starting lineup in this one inning, and they get through 11 batters, and they give up 5 hits, 6 runs, and a bad error from Nico Hoerner. So after all that chaos, it is 6-1 Milwaukee after one inning. Happ will line out to center. Kelly struck out swinging. PCA will hit a base to right, but then Swanson struck out swinging. And then in the bottom of the second, Contreras will hit a base to left. Yelich will also hit a base to right, which will send Contreras to second. Vaughn hits a base to left to load the bases. Frelick will line out to left. Durbin hits a base to center to score Contreras and Yelich. Vaughn will go to second, so it is now 8-1 Milwaukee. Perkins will ground out to first, which will send Durbin to second and Vaughn to third. Ortiz gets walked. And then Savali goes in for the Cubs. Chourio will reach out an infield single to third to score Vaughn. And Ortiz and Durbin advance a base. Collins will pinch run for Chourio, and Terang struck out swinging. So pretty much the entire lineup going through it. Once again, Terang ended the inning for the Brewers in the first, and he ends it in the second. It is now 9-1 in favor of the Brewers. In the top of the third, Collins will go to left field. Shaw gets walked. Busch will fly out to center. And that's how the Cubs finish their lineup. They go through like 2 innings. They get to the third when they get back to the top of their lineup, and the Brewers got through their entire lineup twice in 2 innings. Hoerner will strike out swinging. Tucker will get walked, which will send Shaw to second, and then Suzuki struck out looking. In the bottom of the third, Contreras will ground out to third. Yelich will ground out to second, and Vaughn will fly out to right. In the top of the fourth, Happ struck out swinging. Kelly will line out to center, and PCA will pop out to first. In the bottom of the fourth, Frelick will hit a base to right. Durbin will fly out to center. Perkins struck out looking, and Ortiz will fly out to right. In the top of the fifth, with Peralta still pitching for the Brewers, Swanson struck out swinging. Shaw will get walked. Mike Busch struck out swinging, as well as Nico Hoerner. In the bottom of the fifth, Collins struck out looking. Bryce Terang hits a base to left, but then Contreras will ground it into a double play. In the top of the sixth, Tucker will fly out to left. Suzuki will ground out to third. Happ hits a home run to center to make it 9-2. Kelly hits a base to center, and that is the end of the game for Freddie Peralta, as Ashby will go in for the Brewers, and PCA will fly out to left. In the bottom of the sixth, Yelich will line out to center. Vaughn will fly out to center, and Frelick will fly out to left. In the top of the seventh, Swanson struck out looking. Shaw will fly out to right, and Busch will ground out to second. Ben Brown is pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the seventh as Durbin struck out swinging. Perkins will hit a double to right. Ortiz struck out swinging, and Collins will line out to right. Koenig will go in for the Brewers in the top of the eighth with Lockridge in left field. Nico Hoerner hits a home run to left field to make it 9-3. Kyle Tucker will ground it out to Koenig. Suzuki will fly out to right, and Happ will ground out to Contreras. In the bottom of the 8th, Terang struck out swinging. Contreras will ground out to short. Yelich will get walked. Bowers will pinch hit for Vaughn. Yelich will go to second on a wild pitch. Bowers gets walked, and Yelich will go to third on a fielder's indifference. And then Frelick will ground out to second. Mears will go in for the Brewers in the top of the 9th with Bowers at first. Kelly struck out swinging. PCA struck out looking. Swanson hits a double to left. Ballesteros will pinch hit for Shaw, and Swanson will go to third on a fielder's indifference. And then Ballesteros will ground out to first, and that is the end of this nightmare of a game for the Chicago Cubs. They win 9-3, and all 9 runs for Milwaukee were scored in the first 2 innings. This was a nightmare of a game for the Chicago Cubs. Well, let's get into the win and loss. The win obviously goes to Peralta, 5 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 2 earned runs and 4 hits. He had 9 strikeouts. So Peralta, being the Cubs killer he is, he just owns the Cubs for whatever reason, and this game was just another example of that. Matt Boyd with the loss, who only went 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 2 earned runs and 4 hits with only 1 strikeout. And like I said, for Matt Boyd and the Cubs, this was just a nightmare of a game. Right out of the gate, when the Brewers went up to bat, the game was over there. I really don't know what happened. Even Nico Horner having error is so rare for him. And Milwaukee found a way to score the runs, get guys on base. That's just the situational baseball that they have. So there's a reason they won 97 games. They finished the year with the best record in baseball, a franchise record season. And the Cubs, as good as they were, did not win the division for that very reason. The Brewers kind of just showed why they were the better team throughout the season. And with that, the Milwaukee Brewers take a 1-0 series lead. So give me your thoughts on this game in the comment section down below. I will have individual game recaps for every game. So this was game 1. And then in just a few short minutes, you will see game number 2. And then a few short minutes later, 3, 4, 5, you will get the memo. So if you're interested in the content, feel free to like, subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is Jack from Cubs360. And as always, go Cubs go.